Welcome back to Geek Week. It is officially that time of year again where we celebrate everything geeky and nerdy about movies and TV and music. And let me tell you what, last year I did not get to do as much as I wanted to, and every year it's hard because I'm trying to put out a couple videos out during the week, and it's already hard enough to do like one or two during the week. So this year, I am going to make up for it. And instead of having a Geek Week, we're going to have a Geek Month. How's that sound? It actually falls in line really perfectly because going through all the stuff that I was going to review and do for Geek Week and throughout the month of May, it actually just lines up that everything is really nerdy and in a fandom anyway. So I was like, may as well. So I will be doing things more heavily the next 2 weeks, but then after that, I'll still be putting out a couple videos that will also be part of Geek Week, Geek Month, and will be about Marvel or, well, mostly Marvel. So that begs the question, what am I gonna do to start off Geek Week? Well, in the past, I have always done something with Harry Potter because one of the very first ones is May 2nd, which is the Battle of Hogwarts, so I always do a Harry Potter video. This year, since I actually already did all three Fantastic Beasts and focused a lot on that, I'm actually going to take this time to focus on other fandoms. So as you all know, no matter what fandoms I choose to focus on each Geek Week, I am always going to do something with Harry Potter. But in place of Harry Potter, I'm going to do something slightly similar, a closely related fandom, and I'm going to start with Game of Thrones. Now, what am I going to do? Well, I'm going to do something that I have been wanting to talk about for a little bit, and it's not going to be a popular topic. I'm going to talk about what I think are the good things about Season 8 of Game of Thrones.
You weren't supposed to do that!
I know, I know. But there are some good things, and everybody and their mother has already talked about what's not good. Because, trust me, we all know what those are. We all know what those are.
Well, Danny kind of forgot about the Iron Fleet and...
I'm going to be a little more positive and talk about the good stuff about Game of Thrones Season 8. Let's go. Now, first of all, really quick, I just want to say, obviously, spoilers. But second of all, I'm going to be focusing mostly on moments and things that are good about the writing, because for the most part, Season 8, even acting, the cinematography, none of that was really a problem. That was all still as incredible as always. There might be one or two things on this list that are more closely related with those, but most of it's going to be about good writing moments. Okay, no particular order. Number 1, Jaime coming to Winterfell to help with the fight against the White Walkers and seeing Bran. This is a really powerful moment. It is how the first episode of Season 8 ends. And I think it really, really shows Jaime's character arc. Obviously, he's still not the most wholesome of people. He still has a lot of issues. But this shows just how far he came. And honestly, this is probably something he would still do in Season 1 if he didn't obviously hate the Starks and a lot of the things that go on there. Like, he did some still absolutely shitty things. But if he made an oath, he would have kept that oath. And that's even better in this one. Because he told Cersei, we made a promise, we were going to go and help them. And then she was going to back out. And so he's like, fuck that, I'm going to go. I'm going to help out because I said I would. And god damn it, I love Jaime. But then that moment when he sees Bran and his face just goes from confusion to, oh shit. That's a good moment. Because again, it shows his character arc, it shows what he did. Bran forgives him because Bran's, like, not Bran anymore. I like how he doesn't immediately roll over and say, I'm so sorry for everything I did. I would never have done any of it. I take it all back. He literally says, like, I would do it all again. Maybe not push Bran out the window, but I would do it all again for my family. And I like that because he still keeps who he is, but is a better person now. I also just like it because it shows that the White Walker battle is bigger than everybody else. Everyone's at risk for this, so they're all going to fight. Number 2, literally all of episode 2. There's only 6 episodes in the 8th season, but like the entirety of episode 2 is pretty great. I just absolutely love when you have a series where you have a lot of different groups of people and they finally come together, especially in this one where it's only certain numbers of those groups who are left come together, and you've seen all of their sides and all of their stories, and now they're coming together, and we get to see them bounce off of each other and see, you know, the writers are probably having a field day going, man, what can we do with putting these couple of characters together and this group of characters together? Especially, I think my favorite group that's together is the one inside Winterfell and inside by the fire. I think it's Tyrion, Ser Davos, Tormund, Brienne, Podrick, and Jaime. And that was a good group because they just were all from so many different places, but they were all at this point of like, yeah, here we are. We're probably about to die. Let's just talk for a bit. I think Bran was there too because Tyrion was talking to Bran about his stories. It really showed that they all came together, and I freaking loved it. It's probably honestly my favorite thing of the entire season. I loved all of that episode, all the different groups of people, how they bounced off each other, how nice they were to each other. It was awesome. And along with this, I just loved Podrick singing. That was such a really haunting but kind of peaceful, relaxing moment at the same time. In this moment, he's grown up. This goes right along with that, but is worthy enough to be its own specific point. Brienne getting knighted. Sir Brienne. God, what a good moment. God, what a good end for this character. You know, character arc-wise. Well, yeah, I say that. Other stuff happens later.
She's hateful. And so am I.
But, you know, character, personally, you know, just her internal character, what a good, oh my, because no one else deserves to be a knight more than her. And I love that. And again, going with that first point, I love that Jaime is the one to do it because he respects the hell out of her. She was the one who I think really started his character arc and him being less of an asshole. And I absolutely loved it. There's no more words. It's just so good. Number 4, the beginning of the Long Night. Honestly, like, the actual Long Night battle obviously has major issues, but it's really freaking cool. But what I think I love about the first and second episode and the beginning of the third episode is it's like the calm before the storm, and it's just that preparation feeling, and then you get to the beginning of that third episode, and, you know, the White Walkers are coming, it's here, and everyone's getting prepared, and it's just that last little moment of, like, some of these characters aren't going to be here anymore, and it's just so sad and so suspenseful, and everyone's running around and they're getting prepared, and then the beginning itself is actually really cool. I mean, I love battles where you have people in different places for different parts of the battle and different strategies. So, like, you have Jon and Dany up with the dragons. You've got all of the Dothraki and everybody down in the very front of the battlefield, and then out of nowhere, Melisandre comes in and does her whole flame sword thing, and, like, just having so many things come in, different characters come in and do their power and their skill, and oh God, battles are so cool, man. They're so good when you have so many good characters. Number 5, who dies in the Long Night? I'm not talking about who doesn't die, because we all know that editing had a very big influence on who didn't die. Who does die, I think, you know, they were good choices. You know, that sounds really sick to say, but in terms of their characters, you know, Jorah, I think that was a great end for his character, protecting his queen. Theon, protecting, like, literally the most valuable thing they needed to protect, Bran and the Three-Eyed Raven, and redeeming himself entirely. And the fact that Bran says, you're a good man, and, you know, you can't not trust Bran because he literally knows everything. So that was a really good end to his character. Loved it. And then obviously there were a couple others. I think her name is Lyanna Mormont. Really sad. But, you know, even though I think it was a very hard decision to probably kill off a child in the show, I think it really showed that, you know, everyone's in danger here. And she was a really badass character for being, like, what, 12? So she really gave her all respect to the House Mormont. They really took a loss that night. Number 6, Gendry being named Lord of Storm's End and of the House Baratheon. This, again, is another really great character moment in terms of the end of someone's character, like where they ended up. A huge theme of this show is people who are born low class, being the ones who get to survive. And I mean, obviously not everyone does, because the whole part of the other themes of the show is, it could be anybody, even the main characters, even if you are worthy. But a lot of the low-born people, they survive, and because of their morals, because of this, that, the other thing, they end up in really great spots, and a lot of times end up being knights or lords. And again, with Gendry, it's awesome because, he was just, he wasn't a bother to anybody, but he starts out as this bastard, and all he does is he does his work, but he was such a good guy, and I loved that just being who he was got him to be lord of the entire House Baratheon. Plus, it was a really great moment in another way, because it showed, I don't want to say the beginning of the fall of Daenerys, but it showed that she felt, I think, a little insecure at that moment. So she was like, if I have not a power trip, but if I assert my power here and name somebody, especially somebody who was lower born, a lord, people are going to like me, and they're going to know that I have that power. So I think that was great in a writing sense too. Number 7, Sam and Gilly tell Jon that they're going to name their child after him, tentatively, if it's a boy. This was a really great moment for Sam and Gilly and Jon, because it really showed their friendship, and I love their friendship because, Jon, especially in the last 3 seasons, kind of runs away as this ginormous character and very important to a lot of people. He is the king of the North and in charge of basically all of the fight against the White Walkers. But despite all of that, he still turns to Sam for advice and for counsel. And I love that. He was still a person, and he still needed his best friend. And I think this was a really great testament to their friendship, a testament to how much he still loved, Gilly and Sam and Gilly together. The fact that Gilly was from the beyond the wall where Jon ends up wanting to go. In general, a really wholesome moment, especially if they're going to name their child after him. Number 8, the Clegane Bowl. We finally get it. The Mountain versus the Hound. And, oh my god. For an episode where most of the stuff was shit, this was pretty good. Yeah, maybe, it could have been something else that was focused on more and a little bit longer and another whole episode of its own, whatever. But it was pretty intense. They did not hold back. They both got fricked up pretty bad. Just finally getting to see Sandor get his justice against this beast of a man go down swinging. And especially that last little moment that he talks to Arya and he's like, get away from here. He looked out for her one last time, and the whole thing's great. Number 9, how the burning of King's Landing is shot. Now, this is one of those that isn't about the writing. This is something that I really do love about how they decided to shoot almost the last half of this episode. And this has been pointed out before. This is not an original thought, but it's just something I still really love, is they don't shoot the burning of King's Landing from Daenerys' perspective up high. Because at that point, number 1, the people who are getting affected are below. They're on the ground level being burned. 2, it makes you feel even more like you're a part of this, and it's a lot scarier. And 3, obviously, Dany's lost her mind. And so we can't really associate with her anymore. We can't empathize with her. We can't connect with her. She's somewhere else now, And so I think having it shot low to the ground was a really great decision, because it showed the scope of it while also showing the disconnect from her character and, empathy for a lot of these other characters even more. I thought it was a great choice. Number 10, the wing shot. Oh my god. Okay, look. Say what you want about the beginning of that last episode and Dany and everything. I agree with all of it. However, that wing shot where she comes out and the camera just goes up and the wings come out. Yes! There's nothing else to say. Number 12, the burning down of the Iron Throne. It's not in your face, but it is very obvious what the metaphor, the theme is here of this entire scene and these shots of the whole Iron Throne. Everything that people have been fighting for the last 7 seasons just being burned away like it was nothing. I don't think I have to go into what all that means, but just the fact that Daenerys' last dragon burns it all away like it was nothing, it just makes the squabbles feel like squabbles. It makes it feel so stupid, but also the fact that it makes it feel like there is no more division anymore. I like how in the last episode we really see that everyone who was divided was going to die. You know, now everyone who was left is like, we're all on the same page. We're all good. You know, so we're going to have peace because we're cool. And the burning down of the Iron Throne, that thing that separated them now being gone, really just supports that. And it was such an amazing scene. Number 13, the new small council. I love this scene. I could have dealt with a little bit less chair straightening. But when they all come in, you know, all right, so you have Tyrion, who's obviously the hand of the king, to Bran, who's the king. You've got Sir Brienne, who is a knight now, who is commander of the Kingsguard. You've got Sir Davos, who is commander of the ships, because his last name is Seaworth, so why wouldn't it be? And, you know, obviously you have Sam, who is an Archmaester, or Grand Maester, whichever one is higher. The only one I think that people are a little, like, why about is Bronn being the Master of Coin, but, you know, he could grow into it. You know, Tyrion knows what to do. But that was a great scene. They were all, again, just very wholesome. You see everyone's finally at peace. All of them, they were like perfect for their roles and what they grew into. It's this new generation of people. It sort of felt like this weird, quiet, fresh start. It's the end of a lot, but it's the beginning of the rest. And finally, at number 14, where the three Starks end up. These are the last of the Starks. And I think where they end up is actually great. Arya going out on her own. She's always wanted to not be a princess. She's wanted to be a knight. She's wanted to go and explore, and she wants to see what's west of Westeros, because, you know, who knows. And then Sansa being the Lady of the North was perfect, because she really grew into that role, and it was great for her. Plus the fact that you have a Lady of the North, just amazing. And then Jon obviously being, sentenced back to the Wall, but really he just goes north. And, you know, while I didn't love how he got there, I think it is perfect for him. You know, his first love was Beyond the Wall. He just fits in better with the people beyond the Wall. I love that he goes back and he reunites with Ghost, and then he's got Tormund to, you know, take him in. And that was the big thing that he did, was bring all of those people together and lead them. And as much as I would have loved to have seen him on the throne, I think that this was the better choice for his character and his character's end. I think there were other people who were better suited to be on the throne. I won't say who and who I don't think. Oh, of course, there is one more. Jon's hair. It's always Jon's hair. I call it like I see it, guys. Just appreciation post for Jon Snow's hair. Well, there you have it. There's all the things that I think are really great about Game of Thrones Season 8. I'm sure there's other really small, great moments as well, but these are the bigger things that I thought were great. Now, see, that wasn't so bad, was it? Guys, let me know if you have any other great moments from Season 8 that I missed. I do give you free reign to talk about any of the other stuff that you want from Season 8, or Game of Thrones as a whole. Great things from Game of Thrones as a whole, because it's an amazing show. So let's not harp on all the bad stuff, because trust me, we know it's there. And get excited for Geek Month. It sounds weird when it doesn't rhyme, but get excited for it, because I got a ton of stuff that I'm coming out with this month, and I'm really excited. We're going to go over a bunch of different fandoms. And as always, keep your hopes high, your stress low, and just keep being a nerd. I'll see you guys later.